What's up, everybody? I'd like to thank y'all for coming out. Thank y'all for staying a little late. Want to thank everybody involved. Like my father said, man, PBC, Al Heyman, GTD, Tank. Like I said, like he said, this is a hell of an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna conquer it. Everybody know what I'm coming here to do. If you don't, then shit, you're gonna be in for a surprise.
If Lamont Roach beat Tank Davis, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Lamont has been boxing since he was 8 years old. The man is a world champion with the title defense, multiple-time national Golden Glove champion in the amateurs, and he's already fought Tank under the lights twice in the amateurs, so he knows exactly what he's up against. So it wouldn't surprise me at all. He's the best opponent on Tank Davis' entire resume. Now, there's rumors that the fight is no longer happening, but if it does, it would not surprise me at all if Lamont Roach was able to defeat Tank Davis.
I know he won't be surprised. I think he actually took this fight for the naysayers and all this and all the people talking shit about the fight. I think he actually took the fight because he know that I'm a dog, and he want to prove his skills against the dog.
Oh, Tank Davis took the fight because he tried to fight Loma. Loma ducked him. Tried to fight Real Valenzuela. Real acted just like Loma and said, "Oh, I don't want to fight for the rest of the year." So then you was the only man left. Other than you, he could fight Shakur Stevenson, but that's not a fight that Tank Davis wants to do because Shakur is the biggest threat to his undefeated record, believe it or not. But Lamont Roach is a dog nonetheless.
So I'm gonna show y'all what happens when two dogs get in the ring together, and I'm gonna be the one. Obviously, I'm gonna be the one coming out victorious, and we're gonna put on a hell of a show for y'all. So tune in, buy the fight. Like I said, it's gonna be a hell of a night.
Tune in, buy the fight. Like I said, it's gonna be a hell of a night. I wrote that myself. Hey, one thing about when two friends fight each other, the press conferences are boring because nobody's really trying to go at the other guy. And if they're really trying to sell pay-per-view with this fight, knowing that Lamont Roach isn't really known by the public, they gotta sell this a lot better, especially Lamont Roach. He has to go at Tank Davis' neck. You know what I mean? Seriously, he has to say fuck the friendship for half a second, go at his neck, and sell the pay-per-view.
And now we turn our attention over to one of the most exciting, if not the most exciting fighter in all of boxing.
Davis is the most exciting fighter in boxing. He's also one of the most charismatic fighters in boxing. He's not even that great of a trash talker, but everything he does, everything he says, all the fights that he has, no matter who he fights, they all go viral because of his style and his swag.
His record undefeated, 30 victories, 28 by knockout. He is a Baltimore native, a five-time three-division world champion, and the reigning WBA lightweight world champion. He has held the lightweight title since 2019, and he has also won titles at 130 and 140 pounds.
Now, as far as lightweight, I don't know if Tank won the title that he has right now in the ring. I know that he beat Pedraza for the title. I think that was at 130. And then he had one title defense before losing the title on the scales. They say he's a three-division world champion. But he hasn't really won a lot of the belts in the ring, and he hasn't really defended any belts. Also, when he went to 140, he beat Barrios for a belt that wasn't the super belt. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like he went to 140 and got a championship belt. But right now, if he were to go to 140 and fight Rail, I do believe he would take that belt from Rail. There's a couple of guys at 140 who he could take the belt from, but it's going to be easier said than done because he's already expressed that he's not comfortable at 140.
He is coming off his highlight reel knockout over the previously unbeaten Frank Martin. Please help me welcome Gervonta Tank Davis.
First, I want to say thank God, without him it wouldn't be possible. Second, I want to thank everybody that's involved, in this event. PBC, Al Heyman, Amazon, Ting, No Excuse, everybody. I'm excited to be a part of this, and
I'm excited to be a part of this. Tank didn't sound excited at all. And when you look at his energy from this press conference, it was clear that he wants out of boxing. So I wasn't surprised when he said 2025 was going to be his last year. He looks tired, like in the face, he looks tired. He's tired of the fame, the spotlight. He's tired of the business aspect. He's tired of the pressure and the constant punishment that you have to put on your body during training camps.
March the 1st, it'll be a great event. Right now, I'm not really big on getting into it and stuff like that. I'm really out of it right now. But come March the 1st, it's definitely gonna be a great show. Same results.
This would have been a great time for Lamont to attack Tank in the press conference because Tank seems tired, he seems out of it. He seems as if something other than boxing is on his mind bothering him. So in other words, he's not 100% focused. He's not as strong as usual. One could even say he's weak. When your opponent is weak, that's when you attack him. So when Tank said, same results, Lamont was supposed to rise up, take the mic, and start popping his shit.
We just gotta wait and see. We got 3 months to get ready, so it'll be a goodie come March the 1st. So see y'all there.
All right, we will now open things up for question first. I'll start with you, Tank. You are back in Brooklyn. The last time you were here, the Barclays Center was packed. You had a show-stopping knockout victory over Rolly Romero. It is the highest grossing and most attended boxing event ever here at Barclays Center. What is it about fighting here in Brooklyn that's so special for you?
I think the people energy, I won my first championship here and things like that, and if you actually look on my Instagram, I have more followers in New York than actual Baltimore. So
why does Tank have more fans in New York than in Baltimore? There's 2 reasons. Number one, as we all know, the city of Baltimore is impoverished. There's a lot of hood stuff going on in Baltimore. There's a certain mentality of criminality that's in Baltimore. So Tank making a success out of himself is going to breed hate and envy amongst people that he grew up with who aren't as successful. But also because Tank's greatest performances were in the Barclays Center. Tank dominated Pedraza in the Barclays Center. Tank knocked out Rolly Romero in the Barclays Center. The New York fans, they witnessed it firsthand. So they're going to be his ride or die fans.
In actual Baltimore, so I think this is like a second home for me and things like that. And New York always come with that great energy.
Now, going into this fight against Lamont Roach, I know there were reports of a potential fight with Lomachenko. Obviously, that fell through. What made Lamont Roach the next logical choice for you in your next fight?
Well, Tank tried to fight Rayo Valenzuela. Valenzuela ducked Tank and claimed he didn't want to fight for the rest of the year. Lomachenko brought up Ukraine, act like he missed his family and stuff like that. Roach is a childhood friend, just like Muhammad Ali and Jimmy Young. And Roach is looked at as a stay busy fight where Tank can fight somebody that he's familiar with that's also a competitive fighter while also making his friends some money. So just like Ali and Jimmy Young did all those years ago, Tank is trying to do that with Lamont Roach.
He has skills. Even though he's at a smaller weight class, I feel as though Lamont have, and he's someone that's one of the guys that I actually started with and came up with in the sport of boxing. Actually still doing well. Everybody that's started with us really not in the picture right now. So
anybody that started boxing young, 7 or 8 years old, and they're in their 30s and they're still boxing, that shows that they have a strong mind and a strong body to continuously break their body down over the years and put their body through punishment. It also shows that they have a great support system and a great team, because boxing is not a cheap sport. It's not a sport where you could just do it. You need bills, you need a travel team to go to these different tournaments. You need somebody to be funding you, or you got to get a job. That way you can still pay for a place to stay, or food to eat, nutrients, water to drink, etc.
People don't really, I wouldn't say like know him, but he definitely have the skills. Definitely a top opponent, and come March the 1st, everybody will see.
Today in boxing, people associate clout with skills. So it's guys out there that think Ryan Garcia is a top-level boxer, when Ryan is just a little bit above average as a boxer. Lamont Roach has way more skill than Ryan Garcia, but because of Ryan's social media presence, the public was anticipating that fight. They wanted that fight, even though this is going to be a much better fight than Tank and Ryan was, if this fight actually happens.
Now I'll turn things over to you, Lamont. Obviously, what was your reaction when you got the call from your team that this fight is on the table, and what was your reaction once it was finalized, knowing that this is the biggest opportunity of your career?
I would say my reaction was,
You about to get paid.
Shit, I would say my reaction was, I'm about to get paid, Mo. We about to hit up Johnny Dang and them. About to get some new fronts, a couple brand new chains. Shit, I might even move out of DC for real. Cause my mother and my father, they been here their whole life. I've been here my whole life. We might move to Cali or something. That's the whole thing about fighting Tank. Win or lose, like I'm about to get paid.
that was one of them. No funny, that was one of them. But little do people know, I mean, like, you know, not to downplay, because that the motherfucking offer was pretty chunky, but I had some chunky deals on the table too. So it's not something that we super jumped at.
I disagree, Roach. I think y'all was jumping like a lot lizard once you see a 18-wheeler pull up. No, but on a serious note, there's no deals that Lamont had that could even compare to a Tank Davis. Tank is literally one of the biggest stars in this sport. So nothing that Lamont had on the table could even compare to what Tank had to offer him. And there's no way that Lamont could have turned this down. He's not known enough. He could fight, but he's not known enough to be able to turn down a fight with Tank Davis.
When it came to my legacy, when it came to, you know what I'm saying, putting on good shows for boxing and all that came together. Of course I wanted to do it. And like he said, we came up together. Why not? Why not put on a great show? Why not show that we are two of the best fighters in the world on a world stage, on a pay-per-view card?
On top of that, why not get one of your friends, one of your childhood friends paid? Once again, Ali fought Jimmy Young in Landover, Maryland. They were friends going back to childhood. Ali gave that man the biggest check of his career. So that's really what it's all about. This is a fight where Tank is going to be challenging an old friend for the third time and getting that friend paid.
Of course. I was like, yeah.
Now, you just mentioned, obviously, it's very well known that you guys, you know, fought in the amateurs, you've had sparring sessions. Can you use any of those past experiences with Tank going forward into this fight March 1st?
Yes, because Tank fights the same way. If you go watch his national fights with Lamont Roach, Tank is the same patient counterpuncher, the same ultra-talented fighter that he was way back when he was 15, right now. So Lamont could actually go back, watch that tape, see what he did wrong, and see if he could come up with a certain game plan and a way to hide his attacks to make sure he's not getting countered by Tank Davis, who's physically more gifted than him and probably skill-wise above him as well.
He can't.
Damn, Tank cut that man off real fast, and he can't. Lamar started mumbling and shit. That man said, But this is why I say Lamont, he should be cutting Tank off as well. You know what I mean? Because it makes a difference to show your opponent, look, bro, it's my turn to talk. I'm going to cut you off, and I'm going to say what's, the real deal. I'm going to cut you off when the interviewer asks you a question, because I run this. So that's what Tank is doing. He's asserting himself.
He lost.
No answer my question, bro. What I'm about to say, logically, even though I think I won both of them fights, not really. It was so long ago. We was like 16.
I don't know about both fights, but the fight that I watched, the one that's on YouTube, Tank clearly won that fight. Tank had better timing. He was the better counterpuncher. He also knew when to get aggressive, and when Tank hit Lamont, visibly you could see that he had more power. So the shot was a cleaner shot.
Remember, I beat you in tournament twice.
You say what?
I beat you in the tournament twice. I beat him in the state, and then they did
Beat
something
me
like
in the regionals. They cheated in Baltimore, took a point from me, fool. Come on. We sent the video to USA Boxing. They said I should have won. They sent me to the Nationals. That was the only reason why I went.
And then I fought you again, beat you there,
And then
right?
you beat me.
There again.
Then you beat
In
me.
the same tournament.
Then you beat me.
Great psychological warfare by Tank. You always remind the enemy of his shortcomings, times where he failed, because you want to put that in his mind that he's going to fail again. Lamont, he's laughing it off, but I think he should have been more aggressive or say something like, that was the amateurs. This is the professionals now. Nothing that we did in the amateurs matters. Are you going to be able to beat me on March 1st, Tank? You and I know that you're not going to be able to do that. But I don't know. I can't really talk for Lamont. But I like what Tank is doing, man. Laughing at the man, telling him, look, I already beat you twice. I'm going to beat your ass a third time. 3 strikes, your ass is out.
I thought I won, though. It was the point system. It was BS. They was on your dick.
Pause. No Diddy. But if you know anything about, the amateur system in Baltimore, all those Upton fighters, they get favoritism in the tournaments. I've had a point taken away from me to try to even the fight out after I scored an 8-second count on a guy from Upton as soon as the fight started. So they will cheat for Upton fighters. I believe Lamont probably was cheated in that first fight.
Like, come on, fool. It is what it is. But, they was close fights. He won both of them, obviously. But at the end of the day, you can't really use that. We're 2 totally different fighters. He's evolved. I evolved. And, we got to go what's been going on now.
Here's what's been going on. Both of these fighters have grown skill-wise. Lamont has a kind of a new style. As he's becoming professional, he's gotten way better. Tank has the same style, but he's enhanced that style. But ultimately, Lamont hasn't really showed much power in the professional ranks. Tank has showed even more power in the pros than he showed in the amateurs.
Now, I'll turn things over to you, Tank. This is a huge fight for the DMV area. Does that add a little extra motivation, him being from D.C., from Baltimore, going into this fight?
Not really. Like, I've been coming up and coming to D.C. like for a minute since I was young, so I don't really see like the.
It's more so for the crowd. It ain't necessarily between me and him, DC, Baltimore, but like
DC versus Baltimore, Yo versus Mo. But seriously, since boxing isn't really that popular in the U.S., you can't even really have these turf wars like that. Because most people in Baltimore and D.C., they are not focused on what's going on in the boxing world. They're more worried about NFL Sunday or the NBA. So that's why it's not really that heated of a rivalry as they're trying to make it, even though it sounds good on paper.
For the crowd, it definitely is. As an area thing, it is.
Now, Tank, Roach said earlier today that, he feels like the guys that you've knocked out recently don't have a chin. What's your response to that?
We gotta test his chin out. Come March the 1st.
It doesn't even matter if you have a chin or not. First off, Tank Davis is a great body puncher. Ryan Garcia had a chin. Ryan didn't have a body. Second, Tank isn't a one-punch knockout artist. He wears guys down with precision punches throughout the fight. Hector Garcia had a good chin. Hector Garcia got a detached retina. So Tank is hitting you in all areas, head and body. Very precise, very accurate, with a bunch of power and a lot of speed. So it's going to take more than the chin. You're going to have great punch resistance and conditioning overall, great defense overall, just to be able to get in the ring with somebody like Tank Davis.
We ain't on that. Motherfuckers don't hit me.
What's your reaction to that, Lamont? You said, you feel like guys.
That's what we gonna be in there for. He same thing. He gonna try to test. I'm gonna try to test.
You seen my post, right?
You said which one?
Well, I told you to leave the kids home.
My son gonna be front and center. Fuck you talking about? He gonna be front and center.
Leave the kids
Why
home.
wouldn't he want to see his father
What's up,
become
little bro?
2-time?
Look, man, y'all know that's Tank Davis' line. Leave the kids home, leave the women home. Frank Martin dad said that they were showing up to show everybody what they was about, and Frank Martin got his ass knocked out. So hopefully that doesn't happen to Lamont Roach, man. That's one thing in boxing that a lot of people don't consider. A lot of times these people's loved ones, girlfriends, wives, they right there watching them get knocked out.
2-time world champ.
Lamont,
Yo, bro, what's up?
Lamont, let me ask you this. How is your style going to be different than anything Tank has faced, and how will you be able to get the upset and give him his first defeat?
It's just it's skill wise. I bring a lot. I bring a lot to the table. I can adapt. I can fight various different styles. I'm tough. I'm gritty. I'm smart. I'm witty. Whatever the case may be, whatever I got to pull out my bag of tricks to win, that's what I'm going to do.
Lamont has great defense in the pocket, so he doesn't have to get stalked the entire fight like Frank Martin. Lamont knows how to make a guy miss right in front of him. Lamont also has experience that none of Tank's other opponents had. Not only has he been fighting since he was a kid, but he actually fought Tank Davis twice already. So he's going to be able to bring some elements that nobody else has brought in a fight with Tank.
Look at
Motherfucking the rest of them, either they was one-trick ponies or they just ain't have enough.
Ryan and Rolly Romero were one-trick ponies, but a guy like Pitbull Cruz, he just didn't have enough. You need a full bag, and you need fast feet, great defense to beat a fighter like Tank Davis. You have to be special because Tank is special. Or you need a world-class game plan, like an Eddie Futch type game plan.
The underdog?
Come on now, of course. I mean, but everything is opinionated. The only thing that's going to matter is when we get in the ring.
As for you, Tank, going into this fight, this will obviously be your first fight of 2025. How do you envision 2025 playing out for you?
25 is after next year. I'm out of it.
When Tank was introduced to boxing, he was a small child. He runs into Coach Calvin. His family takes him to the gym. And he makes a dream to have enough money to move him and Coach Calvin out of the city to be successful. So Coach Calvin has been like a father figure to him. Now Tank is 30 years old, and he has 2 or 3 children of his own. And he's already pleased his father, which is Coach Calvin. So he may not have that burn or that fire to continue to train and beat his body up. Also, even when he was in his prime, 20 years old, he was drinking, partying, stuff like that. Maybe he has other interests outside of boxing. Not everybody is Bernard Hopkins and Floyd Mayweather that live and die and eat, shit, breathe, and sleep boxing.
After our second fight.
You're out of it?
Yeah.
Care to elaborate on that?
That was a great comment by Lamont Roach. He said after our second fight, but the interviewer paid him no mind. The reason why is because Lamont didn't assert himself. He kind of just whispered it. He should have said, yeah, after I whoop your ass the first time, then I will allow you to retire unless you want to come get that ass whooped again. You know what I mean? Like Lamont, he has to sell himself better. He sounds like he believes in himself. That's what you're supposed to say after the second fight. But he got to really sell it. He got to bring it home. That's why the interviewer brushed him off, because there wasn't no power behind his words. There wasn't no soul behind it.
Out of the sport.
After our second fight. Nah, no, I'm going to win, bro.
Nah, I could tell you my fights.
You couldn't, Tank. You don't even know who the hell you're fighting. You just said the fight with Lamont Roach is canceled. So we don't even know if this fight is going to happen. This fight has been rescheduled already. You know what I mean? You thought you was going to be fighting Loma Duck. So you can't tell us who you're going to be fighting. PBC doesn't know who you're going to be fighting. And y'all have to choose wisely and carefully because y'all are starting to feel the heat from the public. The public wants to see Tank in there with Shakur Stevenson or T.O. or Devin Haney. Even a rematch with Ryan Garcia. But they want to see him fight somebody with a name. It's that simple.
All right. I'll go to Lamont Roach Sr. over here. Obviously you have helped with your son becoming a world champion here. What do you need to do to craft a game plan no one's been able to solve Tank Davis. What do you need to do together with you and your team and obviously your son to score that victory?
Tank is a great counterpuncher, so you got to be ready to counter. Tank likes to fight at a certain pace, so you want to keep the pace fast, see if you can tire him out. And also, you got to be in the best shape of your life to deal with the body attack that he's going to try to put on you. That way you don't end up like Frank Martin on the ropes, getting knocked out.
We're going to do what we need to do to win. I'm not going to get no secrets out, but We got a game plan. We gonna execute it, and we gonna get the results we see.
Move that head, bob and weave, bob and weave.
Once again, Tank inserts himself and he asserts himself. You know what I mean? They talking to Lamont Roach Sr. Tank jumps in and comments like, "This is my show. I'm gonna answer your questions." You know what I mean? I'm the man. And little things like these play a part in the fight as well. So great job by Tank.
Hey, that go both ways.
That go both ways.
Bob and weave, bob and weave. He got bob and weave.
He's in what?
He got bob and weave. Job, bob and weave.
All right, Tank, let's get a prediction.
Bob and weave, bob and weave. Tank funny as hell, man.
Lamont Roach, March 1st, Barclays Center, Amazon Prime, pay-per-view, PBC. What is going down?
Want me to say?
Go ahead so I can call Cap. Go ahead. Come on. Get it over with.
I say 9th round.
If Lamont Roach were to be knocked out, I think it will be sooner rather than later. And it will be a result of him being impatient, like a Ryan Garcia. But Lamont has the pedigree and the experience that even if he's getting beat up, I think he's going to have the punch resistance to be able to deal with a good ass whooping. So he can go 12 rounds with Tank Davis. I think he'll be the second guy to do that alongside Pitbull Cruz.
What?
I say 9th round.
You said 9th?
Yeah.
What's your response to that, Lamont?
Look, he got scared. Look, he looks at 9th.
When Lamont said, "What?" I don't think he was saying that out of fear. I think he was surprised at the disrespect. I think Lamont would expect Tank to respect his craft more than that, and to think that Lamont probably isn't going to get stopped. So he was surprised that Tank looked at him as just one round better than Frank Martin.
I'm not. You saying you going down in the 9th? You know that power curry late.
I know you got some sneaky power. That's what I do know.
On Roach, much like Tank Davis, he has power due to accuracy, but he's not as fast as Tank Davis. He's not the same athlete that Tank is. But I sparred him, and he does have sneaky power because he's very accurate with his shots. And that's going to be something that Tank is already on the lookout for because they spar. So expect Tank to be very conservative in the early rounds. He's not going to be trying to walk him down like how he did Frank Martin. He might start the early rounds on the back foot, like how he did against Rolly Romero or Pitbull Cruz, until he could wear down any and all threat from Lamont Roach with his body attacks. But it's going to be very interesting to see them fight if the fight is still on.
What?
Who said that? You said
My
what?
man over
You
there
said what?
bet.
Yeah, that's why I've been waiting for the niggas to talk. How much you want back? How much you want to bet? Because I came up here alone.
That's a very interesting statement by Tank Davis. He also went to a pro Lamont Roach crowd in the second press conference. So Tank is somebody that likes to put himself against the world. That's the way that he motivates himself. He also likes to prove to the opponent's party that he's better than the opponent, and to prove to the opponent's party that y'all been riding this dude and supporting him, and y'all look at him as great, but I'm better than him. Because Tank knows that after he knocks these guys out, none of the people in their retinue is going to look at them the same way they did before they got knocked out. So Tank, he plays a lot of psychological games, and he's a great conqueror.
How much you want bet? Just call it out. Huh? 100? That's a bet. What's your name? Al, where you from? All right, bet.
Yeah, cuz. Yeah, cuz.
Tank, he feeling better now. Tank feeling better, y'all.
Yeah. Somebody that got him out his bag.
Lamont, what's going down March 1st? Prediction, how does it play out at Barclays Center here?
You signed 100K?
Come on. Hey, fool. Hold on. He with me, so that he wasn't gonna say nothing. He wasn't gonna say no number with no K.
Y'all want bet 100? Right.
He wasn't gonna say nothing else with a K following it. You hear me? Everything was gonna be a K following it. He with me.
I think Lamont was trying to say he wasn't going to say nothing without a K following it, because he with me. I got some money. Lamont, he's a world champion, so he has probably made a couple $100,000 checks here and there in the sport of boxing. Not saying I'm counting his money, but that's what we're talking about right now. The issue is money. One thing I want to talk about, though, that Lamont said, he didn't say it in this press conference, but he said it somewhere on the internet. He said Tank Davis drops his right hand, you know? And maybe Tank does drop his right hand. Tank is so fast that he could get away with doing that. But that's a good catch by Lamont. But I question, why would you actually say that to Tank? Like, if you see a weakness in Tank, why would you tell him the weakness? Because then he can go work on it.
Do you want to bet 100?
We can bet 100.
You sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
We can shake on it. We can shake on
Old
it.
school.
Yeah,
Come on, fool.
yeah.
What I look like?
Yeah, that's what I like. I get in
Yeah.
my mold then.
Yeah.
Tank,
In
it
my
seems
mold
Tank.
then.
Hold on.
It seems like Tank is searching for motivation for this fight.
Excited with
question,
some of these bets that are coming out. Is that starting to
Nah, I just
gear things up a little bit for you?
I like to show people they not who they say they are.
Who,
like to prove people. I like to prove people.
Go ahead. Be specific, brother.
The press conference is featuring you and Tank, so it's clear that he's talking about you. But once again, Tank likes to change the dynamics in people's retinue. After he knocks him out, he knows that nobody's going to look at that man the same, except for maybe Lamont's father. So Tank is a very strategic guy.
And I like to prove to people that like
Yeah, I mean, who
that
said
they come with,
who ain't
you know
what
what
they
I mean?
said they is? I don't.
I like to prove to the people they come with. Cause that's who they be thinking tough.
Do you like that when people doubt? Do you like that when people doubt you? You like to prove them wrong?
Yeah. My first world champion in this building, the whole building doubted me.
I don't know about that. There's not many fights where people would pick the opponent against Tank Davis. Most people think Tank can knock out any and everybody. I don't think people doubted him against Jose Pedraza in his first championship fight.
What's your response to that, Lamont? I mean, you see obviously some, I don't know if they're fans or part of your team, but
They with me. They with me, and they backing my play. That's what they gonna do. They gonna back my play, and then you see they been backing my play, and I've been backing theirs 100%.
So now the question has to be asked. If Lamont gets knocked out, are they going to continue to back your play, or are they only going to be backing your pay? Because whether people want to admit it or not, when they see that homeboy get knocked out or he gets his ass whooped, most people are going to change the way that they view that man, consciously or subconsciously.
And how do you see Marshford's playing now? How do you think it's going to go down here at Barclays Center? I mean, you have an opportunity in front of you to become a world champion at not only 130 pounds, but 135 pounds.
Hopefully he bob and weave, take his own advice, cause it's going down, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
I believe you, Lamont. I think it is going to go down. I think the skill level is going to be too high between both combatants for it not to go down. I think this is going to be a great fight if the fight can actually happen. So I agree with Lamont.
I'm coming with everything I got, and if you ain't on your A game, if you ain't focused,
Trying to hear that shit.
if you ain't focused, cause I know you ain't focused. It's been
I'm
to
not
the
focused.
streets. It's been to the streets. I know you ain't focused. So you better tighten up.
Yeah.
You better tighten up.
That's
My
why I
mother,
got
you
everybody
better
out of
tighten
there.
up.
That's why I got everybody out of there. Can they see my page
you
again?
better
Can they
tighten
see my
up.
page now?
I'm telling you right now, you better tighten up. Because if you don't, my mother, I'm going to make it look like a cakewalk.
This was the best part of the entire press conference. Lamont Roach let Tank know, I see that you slipping, you need to tighten up. Basically saying, I could not say nothing and fight a version of you that's not focused. I want you to be completely 100% focused, so when I beat you, it's no excuses. But also the fact that he finally went at Tank and told him, if you don't tighten up, I'm going to make it like a cakewalk. I'm going to really show that you're not on my level. You know what I mean? So this was the best part of the interview, and this is the part that ignited Tank Davis. Look at what Tank says. Look at how he responds.
That's March 1st.
And I promise you, you better lead them home. You better lead the females home. On my mother, you better lead the females home and the kids.
Lamont Roach hit him with the Kawhi Leonard laugh. Maybe Lamont Roach is crazier than he appears, but you see that ignited Tank. Now Tank is activated. Now he's saying his famous line yet again, you better leave everybody home. And I promise you that you better do that. See, before he was disinterested in the fight, trying to motivate himself. The more that Lamont talks, the more he's going to motivate Tank. Maybe that's why Lamont isn't talking too much. Maybe he doesn't want to poke the bear.
My mother.
Yeah,
now watch this.
they gonna
now
be
watch.
there. They gonna be
now
there.
watch. Now watch.
This reminded me of an altercation between Roach and Tank on social media, where Roach was talking about what he was going to do, and Tank just sent him a quiet emoji. Because Tank, he's looking at this fight like he's better than Roach and that he's going to knock him out. And pretty much he doesn't want Roach to make it worse than it has to be. So what's different from 10 minutes ago and now is that Roach really talks some shit. And Tank is saying, bro, you really want me to go at you for real? I was going to take it easy on you because you're my friend. But I really go at you like you a stranger. So that's the difference.
So he told, you say how, like I posed for Lomachenko, right? Mm-hmm. And, like how he said like he was retired and things like that. I feel as though like we've been in it so long that we are getting tired of it. Like we've been beating our body up so long, but it be like situations like just now, like when he talking that spark the plug again.
So Lamont Roach now, in hindsight, because I've seen this conference a couple of times, now I see why in these conferences Lamont will say one or two slick things, but he won't really go all out. Number one is because he respects Tank's pedigree, but also he doesn't want Tank to be 100% focused, zoned in, and locked in. I don't think he thinks that he could be a 110% focused Tank. And that's smart. If you could have your opponent go into the ring not completely focused by taking a back seat and trash talk, that's actually smart. That's sly. You know, that's wily, cunning.
All it takes just a little comment.
Nah, but that's what I want, though. I don't want you to fight me like you saying you're going out.
It always go like this. It always go like this.
Nah, what I'm
always
saying,
get the
you just
yapping,
said you feel like you going
and
out.
they go to sleep.
I don't want you to feel like you going
I'm
out.
telling you.
That's facts. A lot of times, these opponents talk trash on Tank. The man has a 95% knockout ratio or something like that. Most of the time, he makes them eat their words. He makes them sleep on their words, literally.
I'm telling you.
I don't want that to be an excuse. You know our team name, no excuse. I don't want it to be like, oh, that was my last fight and shit like that. I don't want that. That's going to stain my legacy. You hear me?
Lamont, is this what you want? Is this the Tank you want to face?
Of course, I
March 1st?
want to face the best Tank, duh. I'm not trying to spark nothing. It is what it is. He one of the best. I'm one of the best. We trying to get in there. We trying to rumble.
Now, while I think Lamont is showing Tank Davis too much respect because of their friendship and history, I don't think Lamont is afraid of Tank Davis. Like Frank Martin, it seemed as if Frank Martin was scared of Tank. Lamont has been fighting so long, I don't think he's really scared of anybody.
Tank, do you prefer when you get something like that kind of sparks that motivation and just turns on that switch for you? Yeah. Do you prefer that now going into training camp and getting set for March 1st, that it's going to light a fire under you?
He gonna be mad. He gonna be mad. Watch.
Under the event that Lamont loses or gets knocked out, he's going to be pissed because he has the entire city rooting for him. They've been supporting him for a long time. And also because this is a personal rivalry. He's lost to Tank on 2 different occasions. If he's unable to beat Tank yet again, that's going to burn him. I don't think he's going to be like Frank Martin, who got knocked out and then was cheesing the next day with a bunch of money and a new Benz and a brand new house. I think Lamont Roach is genuinely going to be pissed if he loses.
I'm glad I could do that for you, brother. It's going to be a great event.
All right, gentlemen. It should be an...
Tank up there looking like a devious-ass little kid with that grin, bro. That man mean business. He's very serious about being in control. He doesn't like when people try to take away from his aura, you know what I mean? So when Lamont started to talk that shit, Tank had to set him back straight. Like, look, don't make me have to really go in on you. Now he's smiling, thinking about the pain that he's going to inflict. That's what I got from that little smirk.
First here at Barclays Center in Brooklyn. And as Tank, final words to say to Lamont Roach and fans watching at home as they are getting set for this event, March 1st?
Time ticking. That's it.
Time ticking. Lamont, same question to you. Fans watching at home, people in DC watching you, biggest opportunity of your career. What do you have to say to not only Tank, but people at home watching?
Strap your boots up. It's gonna be a hell of a ride.
All right, you heard it from both men.
I'm surprised Tank didn't say the time is now. But in this press conference, we saw some good energy from both men. We saw Lamont being tactical. We saw Tank being very tactical, taking control whenever other people tried to speak. Tank motivating himself off of the words of Lamont Roach entourage. And once again, Tank showing that, he's coming to seek and destroy. If you push him to that mode, you get him in that energy. He also is showing the air of arrogance, coming to a press conference not really motivated, as if to say, I'm already levels above this man, I already beat him twice, and this is going to be the third time we beating him. But y'all let me know what y'all think. That's the press conference, and see you in the comments.